Whether you're a mountain biker, hiker, skier, snowmobiler, or snowshoer, you depend on trails to lead you through the landscape. Yet few people stop to consider how such trails come to exist and what it takes to keep them accessible. The White Mountains alone feature over 1,200 miles of trails, most managed by the National Forest Service. To keep such a vast network safe and viable year after year is a daunting and expensive task, which is where the White Mountain Trail Collective comes in.
White Mountain Trail Collective is a small nonprofit that works here in the White Mountains of New Hampshire for the most part. And our mission is right in our mission statement. It's to preserve the trails and protect the legacy of trail work here in the White Mountains. Professional trail work has been going on in these mountains for 100+ years at this point. And it is done by the Forest Service, state parks, many different nonprofit and conservation organizations like the Appalachian Mountain Club, the Randolph Mountain Club, Upper Saco Valley Land Trust, a bunch of different places like that. And all of those places have a backlog of work that needs to get done, anywhere from 10 to 15 years of trail maintenance that is needed, but doesn't necessarily get done in any given year. And so the Trail Collective works on a collective impact model. We bring together different crews, different funding sources, and we pick a different area of the forest to work in for 2 or 3 seasons. So right now we're in the Saco Ranger District for the White Mountains National Forest. So we're going to be working here at Cathedral Ledge. We were working over at the Cranmore Bike area. We worked up at Glen Ellis Falls. We work with those different partner organizations, the landowners, the conservation groups, and we ask them to submit proposals for work that needs to get done that they don't have the capacity to do in a given season. We look at those proposals and we decide what we think we can help with, and then we put together a fundraising effort to get funds to do those projects.
At Cathedral Ledge, Johan and his crew repaired and enhanced the trail that allows access to the cliff base by creating a series of stone stairs and reinforcing heavily eroded areas. The project involved quarrying granite blocks from a nearby talus slope and transporting them via a cable and grip hoist system to the site.
We were able to work with the National Forest Foundation and REI to put together a grant package that would allow us to fund this project. And so we ended up with, 3 different partners just to get it started. And then we brought in crews from the Appalachian Mountain Club, the White Mountain Trail Collective, the Access Fund, to get the actual work done.
So a lot goes into it, behind the scenes.
Yes, yeah. So in the end, there was representatives of 5 or 6 different organizations who are here either providing funding or actual physical labor getting this work done. The work that we did is a 100-year project. So we shouldn't have to be back here doing work on this trail for 100 years. So I grew up in Northwest Connecticut, which is a pretty rural part of the state of Connecticut, and spent most of my time as a child kind of running around in the woods, playing. There wasn't a whole lot else to do in the town where I grew up. And so we would go and hike and swim and run around, and then we started doing really, really sketchy rock climbing that probably shouldn't have survived, but thankfully did. And then kind of moved off to Chicago for college because I wanted to go to a city, and after 4 years of living in a city, I realized that's not what I wanted to do with my life. And so when I graduated from college, I just started looking for jobs that would take me to the mountains, and I found the trail crew at the Appalachian Mountain Club, and I thought, that'll be fun for 3 or 4 months. I'll do a summer, I'll figure out what I want to do with my life, and I stayed there for 3.5 years. So, that was kind of where I got into the trail work world. I've been climbing for 20 odd years. I've been hiking for a lot longer than that. So, this is, my work kind of ties right into my life, what I choose to do for recreation.
While the Cathedral Ledge project benefits hikers and climbers, other Trail Collective projects help preserve walking paths to scenic outlooks and historic sites, such as Glen Ellis Falls, a popular waterfall in the National Forest on the Upper Ellis River.
So to keep a trail maintained at a level 1 level, just the basic maintenance, usually we call that patrol season. And what that means is a crew of 4 or 5 people will go out onto a trail and they'll take their axes and they'll take some hose for clearing drainages, and they'll go and they'll cut up all the trees that are laying in the trail. They'll clear all the drainages, and sometimes these folks are hiking for up to 15 miles a day just to clear one trail. So it's a lot of work that goes into just maintaining the trail for the season. The way I got into trail maintenance was through a program called Camp Dodge, and it is a volunteer trails program that takes children, usually aged 16 to 18. And that's how I got started doing a volunteer program. And after that, I knew I wanted to make trail work a part of my life. So I started with the AMC on their trail crews and did that for a while, and eventually decided I wanted something a little more permanent and found the Trails Collective, and I applied last spring and I luckily got the job. So here I am.
The Glen Ellis Falls Trail was originally built in the 1930s by professional stoneworkers under a Works Progress Administration program. In 2020, Allie's crew cleared drainage channels, rebuilt retaining walls, filled sinkholes, and made parts of the path wheelchair accessible.
Tell me about this area here that you guys worked on.
So this section, when we first got here, was washed out because of all this drainage right here.
Yeah, I can see the gully or whatever it was.
Yeah, and there was actually a big boulder sitting right in the middle of the trail. But we wanted to make this more accessible for people in wheelchairs or who might have a tough time walking. So we were able to split up the rock and actually use it in this section of retaining wall. Oh, I grew up hiking. My dad would carry me in a backpack when I was a baby. And then even as young as first grade, we were hiking as a family. And that had a huge impact on me as a kid and made the outdoors somewhere I really loved and somewhere I really wanted to go. And I really wanted to bring other people into that. So that's a big part of why I love what I do.